and they will let you in. Then he did. He walked up the stairs to the door and knocked on the door, and the lady answered. He looked up and said, John 3:16. The lady said, come on in, son. She took him in and she sat him down in a split-bottom rocker in front of the great big old fireplace, and she went off. He sat there for a while and thought to himself, man, John 3:16, I don't understand it, but it sure makes a cold boy warm. Later she came back and asked him, are you hungry? He said, well, just a little. I haven't eaten in a couple of days, and I guess I could stand a little bit of food. The lady took him in the kitchen and sat him down to a table full of wonderful food. He ate and ate until he couldn't eat anymore. Then he thought to himself, man, John 3:16, boy, I sure don't understand it, but it sure makes a hungry boy full. She took him upstairs to a bathroom, to a huge bathtub filled with warm water, and he sat there and sulked for a while. As he sulked, he thought to himself, John 3:16, I sure don't understand, but it sure makes a dirty boy clean. You know, I have not had a bath a real bath in my whole life. The only bath I ever had was when I stood in front of the big old fire hydrant that has flushed out. The lady came in and got him and took him to a room and tucked him into a big old feather bed and pulled the covers up around his neck and kissed him good night and turned out the light. As he lay in the darkness and looked outside the window as the snow coming down on that cold night, he thought to himself, John 3:16, I don't understand it, but it sure makes a tired boy rested. The next morning she came back up and took him down again to that big table full of food. After he ate, she took him back to the same big old split-bottom rocker in front of the fireplace. She took a big old Bible and sat in front of him, and she looked up and she asked, do you understand John 3:16? He said, ma'am, I don't. The first time I ever heard it was last night when the policeman told me to use it. She opened the Bible to John 3:16 and she began to explain to him about Jesus Christ. Right there in front of the big old fireplace, he gave his heart and also his life to Jesus Christ. He sat there and thought to himself, man, John 3:16, I don't understand it, but it sure makes a lost boy feel safe. You know, church family, this morning I have to confess, I don't understand it either. How God will be willing to send His Son to die for me. How Jesus will agree to do such a thing, I don't understand it either. But it sure makes life worth living. What do you say? Amen. For God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in Him shall not perish,
but have everlasting
life. See, church family, this morning, you being here and my being here with our family today, it's God's calling. And God's calling is a supernatural calling. What do you say?
Wala au mana. Mai mātou te mana uia ina ia mātou iai I te tono le afio anga o lau fio teini uma, maso uma lava o mātou ola. Whamanui lau e kare sia i nei tai au. Whamanui lau au whainga luenga o mātou whatasi ai. Whamanui lau nuku a mātou ainga sa malanga mamai le tua mo le nei whamoe moe. Ia iai le manui o lau fio. Ia mātou fo I o mātou ainga le nei tai au mātou whape I fo. Sa iai lau fio I le menei. Mangalo mai o mātou se whaftai.